It is weigh-in day here in Riyadh. Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol, they will weigh in, they will take to these scales behind me, and they will face off for the final time. How cold, how icy is that face-off going to be? Have a little walk with me. It's such a good fight, perhaps the best fight that can be made in boxing. I think you saw the press conference yesterday. It's just started getting a little bit spicy. Fabio Wardley, Frazer Clarke coming up as well. So much to look forward to. All you got to do, sit down, relax, and enjoy. And we are going to be right here to talk you through it. I'm delighted to have, of course, veteran broadcaster Mr. Andy Clark with me. How are you?
Good. Just ticking down the hours now until tomorrow night. It's been a great week. But as it builds day by day, I feel that kind of hump you get over is Wednesday, and then you feel like you're nearly there. And now you get to the weigh, and everything's just a little bit more chaotic, a bit more visceral. There's a bit more testosterone flying around. You get that kind of smell in your nostrils that you get when fight time is nearing, and not long to wait now.
Literally one more sleep. Absolutely can't wait for this. And you can see the stage is just starting to get a little busier. We are expecting Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol on that stage, and of course all of the stars of Saturday night very shortly. And I'm looking forward to today that final icy face-to-face, that stare-off that they have. Is someone going to look away first? Of course someone will. Does it matter? Probably not, but I'm just looking forward to that moment, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what will probably happen there is what happened yesterday, where they'll meet, it'll be intense, and then Bivol just kind of quite slowly just turned around and faced the front and did make a thing of it. When they get really locked in, I think once it goes past a certain amount of time, then both fighters start to think, I can't look away now, and then you're in it then, and you've got to stay in it. But I think after about 10-20 seconds, if one decides, okay, that's enough, that'll do, and turns around, then the other one's probably happy enough with that too. But with some fighters, and this could well happen with Fabio Wardley and Frazer Clarke, they'll go past that point of no return, and then all of a sudden you could be there for a while, and somebody probably needs to slide a piece of white paper in between the pair of them to bring it to an end. It's all good fun, isn't it? The psychology of it.
I love it. The psychology, the theatrics. What was interesting yesterday at the press conference was when Frazer Clarke got up, rather than answering any more questions, just got up, went over and shook the hand of Fabio Wardley. I've not seen anything like that happen before. I get to host a lot of these. For me, that was a kind of, I'm not going to get into any verbals with you because I'm not going to win. So can we just shake hands and just sort of be done with this part, please, and move on to Saturday? What did you think?
I thought the same thing. I thought it was quite clever, actually, because it disarmed Fabio. There's no way you can refuse to get up in that situation. He's offering his hand. There's been good sportsmanship between the pair of them anyway. So you're backed into a corner there. You have no choice but to reciprocate, and it kind of brought everything to a little bit of a natural conclusion that maybe came a bit sooner than Fabio would have liked.
Well, delighted to now be in the company of Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren, and a man very fortunate to not get chinned by Artur Beterbiev.
Listen, you only listen. I never particularly liked you.
Yeah.
We then became mates, kind of. Do you know what I mean? I've been telling everyone how good you are at your job, and then you stitched me right up yesterday. Yeah. You know?
It's pretty good, that, though, wasn't it?
You did put it on him.
I know.
Has he got hold of you yet?
Did tell me, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
you did at least say, just to let you know, I'm going to bring up your arrogant comments. I was like, thanks, mate.
Yeah. Have you bumped into him? Has he said anything?
No, I've been hiding most of the day in the hotel, to be honest with you. But, listen, we want a show. We want action. We got more out of Beterbiev in 60 seconds than we've got out of him in the last 6 fights. So, and by the way, he is funny.
He is funny.
We need to see these characters and personalities, and you know, if I can do it without getting myself injured, fantastic. But I'm also willing to give my soul, my health,
for boxing,
whatever it is,
for the promotion,
for boxing and for numbers, even for your profile, Dev. I think it's gone through the roof in the last 24 hours.
It's all helping. Frank, what did you make of it yesterday?
Well, I was just watching you. I thought you were ready to jump in the middle there.
I started high.
The right thing.
No, good thing I didn't get involved. I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Take one for the team. Take one for the team.
What are we thinking? We're 24 hours away now. This is getting so close, Frank. The excitement is building. These glorious, magical Saudi Arabian nights. There's something in the air, right?
There certainly is. This fight is something special, no doubt about it. 4 belts on the line. Two undefeated fighters. Reminds me a little bit of Tyson v Usyk. And what a great fight that was, and this is going to be as competitive as that fight, no doubt about it. These two guys are up, ready, and probably at their best, and they're going to have to be at their best. And I think that the fans are going to be in for what I would call a special night, a special fight, and I think, you know, you will not be able to take your eyes off the screen.
It does remind me a bit, Eddie, of Fury Usyk, in that you've got two characters who've just got that kind of almost mythological aspect to them. They're kind of sorcerers, wizards, aren't they? And the promo speaks to that. They're not cut from average cloth.
No.
And that's why we just can't really wait to see what's going to happen, because any number of things could happen.
Yeah, I think that you've only got to look at fighters, pundits, promoters, managers, how torn they are in their decision. And even when they make their decision, they don't really say it with any conviction. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, I saw him pick Dmitry Bivol, and he messaged me when I was in the car on the way here saying, Eddie, I just don't know about this fight, you know. I'm a bit scared myself, because it's kind of like what we said earlier. You have got to get it so right to beat this guy. And the only person that can do it is Dmitry. There's no one else. He's the last chance to beat this machine in Artur Beterbiev. But you've got to get it so right every single round. But he's got the temperament to do it, he's got the ability to do it. Can you do it on the biggest of stages when it means so much? The chance for legacy for both. And listen, we talk about the money into Riyadh season, the opportunities for fighters, yes, but these kids have dreamed of this opportunity since they first laced up the gloves. Undisputed means everything to them.
And this is and you think about this, there's a fighter in there that's not needed judges for 20 fights.
Yeah.
Not needed a judge for. And I've got to tell you, I don't think this fight will go the distance. But that doesn't mean to say that I wouldn't be surprised if Bivol also did a job.
I think
it's just going to be one of those
people aren't
fights.
really giving any respect to Bivol's power. I'm not saying he's a huge knockout artist, but he can punch. And if Beterbiev starts to get sloppy, if he does get a little bit reckless, Bivol's a smart counter puncher as well. You know, I think the fascinating thing, what Frank said about no one hearing the final bell, this isn't someone that you've built giving 20 fights at a fairly low level against journeymen. Most of those guys have been world-class opposition. Some have been other champions.
Anthony Yard.
Anthony Yard. I mean, the Godzik's victory as well. Joe Smith, you know, bludgeoned through him. You know, even like the likes of Callum Johnson. I mean, I know he went down against Callum Johnson, but it's just that he's been fighting at a high level for a long time.
And he punches
Callum
the fight.
Smith.
He punches the fight out of you.
Yeah.
He punches the fight out of you. He's such a concussive puncher. But I like Bivol as well. You know, Bivol raises his game. I think the opposition who's in there, he fights, sometimes fights just enough, like he did against Lyndon Arthur. But I think he's got a better fight in him than that. And I think this fight will bring out. Listen, this fight's got to bring the best out of him, because if it doesn't bring the best out of him, he's going to be in trouble.
I think he will fight a little bit out of fear in this fight. I don't see how you can't when you fight Beterbiev, and I think that will help Bivol to be switched on, because I think he'll be so switched on.
Got to be focused
every round.
Yeah.
I said to him last night, every single round, all you got to do, win every round.
Correct.
Go back to the corner, reset, one more, banked. We'll go again, banked. And listen, if you can hurt him, if you can chip away, fantastic. But just win every round. That's very difficult to do.
He's got to dishearten him.
Yeah.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to get out there. He's a good boxer, and you know, if he can win, if he can outbox him for 6 rounds, suddenly, you know, the other guy's got to win, got to have a KO or win the next 6 rounds to draw. And that's what he's got to do. He's got to get out there and use all his attributes, which is his great boxing brain. Can he do it? That's going to be the thing.
I think the first 6 rounds of this fight are key.
Yeah.
If Bivol starts getting caught early in the fight and marked up, and you're looking there 3-4 rounds in, you've got 8 rounds to go, it's going to be a serious time to survive.
I agree.
But are you under Artur Beterbiev's skin? Is the question. Did you do it? Did you rattle him? You said you could.
Dmitry actually thought so.
Come on, what's he saying?
Because I think he knows. No, he said you really rattled him there. But I don't know. I mean, does it really matter? What's he going to, like, some fat geezer from Essex? I mean, he's got bigger fish to fry, hasn't he?
Yeah, Dmitry Bivol.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah. You could have backed me there.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like, you know, I think even these fighters get it sometimes. You know, it's all part of the game. If we can rattle him a little bit, who knows? I don't think so. I think this guy's ice cold. I mean, I don't think he when he's having that conversation with me, I don't think his pulse moved.
I agree. And
Mine did.
and they've done it.
Mine was all over the shop.
Check your it was 140.
And they've also, remember, they've also done it at the highest level as amateurs. Yeah. So they're warriors. That's what they are. And the added spices from where they come from.
Yeah.
You know, the country they come from. I know they've moved to different parts of the world, but for the country they come from, this is a big deal for them. This is a big, big fight, a massive fight.
There's also the first female world title fight in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the small matter of Queensberry versus Matchroom, the small matter of what appears to be almost an irreversible scoreline at the moment, Eddie, a long way back. How are you feeling heading into this one?
I mean, we were the favourite, but it's a very difficult fight, and it's a fantastic fight. Yeah. It's a fantastic clash of styles. You know, the perception is with Skye Nicolson that you can just walk her down and throw loads of punches. That's exactly what she wants you to do. She's hardly lost a round, you know, and people don't realise she had, 140 amateur fights, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, Olympian world medalist. But Raven's very good. She's got great punch output, and it'll be a brilliant clash of styles. You know, I'm an eternal optimist, and I look at this score versus Queensberry, and I think, you know, we've got Nicholson against Chapman. We've got Massey against Liam Davis coming up on TNT as a fantastic fight. We've got McGray or McCann. Well, can we just start trying to, you know, get some momentum before we go into part 2, by the way, as His Excellency announced in February. So I think we're going to win this fight, but it's a very difficult fight. Perfect fight to launch female boxing on Riyadh season, and we hope it paves the way for more tremendous fights.
Quick last word from yourself, Frank, on why Raven Chapman gets the job done for Queensberry.
Well, she's the Queen of Queensberry. You know, since we got involved with her, we didn't sign her because she's a good woman's fighter. We signed her because she's a good fighter. And as Eddie said, she's got a tremendous work rate, in with an excellent fighter with a great pedigree in Skye. Again, it's going to be, I think it's going to be high intensity, high level. They're both very proud. They both want to win. And if it's like Raven's last fight and the amount of punches she threw during that fight, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a very exciting fight. And it couldn't be a better fight to launch women's World Championship boxing in Riyadh season. It is unbelievably a good quality fight.
Well said, Frank. We're going to let you go, Frank. Eddie, best of luck with Artur up there.
Cheers, mate.
And I think we're going to speak very shortly to
See you, fellas.
One of the real stars of Riyadh season, a man called Hamzah Sheeraz will be joining us very soon. That was good fun. I like the comment Eddie made about his whoop being all over the shop when Beterbiev was sticking it on him yesterday. It was quite a moment, Andy.
It was, because he knows as well as anybody that you don't ever quite know how a fighter's going to react, because if a line is crossed, it doesn't really matter to them too much where they are or what the setting is, what the occasion is. They can't allow it to happen. So I think his heart would have been racing a little bit in the early exchanges there, until he probably realised that Beterbiev was being the right amount of serious as well as playful. But to give you credit, it wasn't the easiest circumstance to get a reaction out of anybody. We were talking about it the day before, but you managed to do it, and yeah, I think I'll give you props for it.
Thank you, Andy Clark. Plenty of props for this man here, unbeaten middleweight sensation, Hamzah Sheeraz. How are you?
I'm all good, Deb. Yourself?
Very good. You're a regular here now in Riyadh.
Yeah.
If you're not fighting, you're visiting, and how does it feel to be back? Just home away from home?
Yeah, no, it's good. Listen, I mean, I've got to live up to the old ambassador role. You know what I mean? I have to live up to it. So I'm just enjoying it. And I was saying earlier, it's nice to come over here and put myself in like a boxing fans perspective and just enjoy it, like mix with all the champions, meet the fighters, and just see how they go about their business, and see how if I can pick up certain things off them and just learn, really. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So you've got to live up to your ambassador role. Chris Eubank Jr., is he going to live up to his role as he says, top dog in the middleweight division tomorrow?
I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping he does, because God willing, if we get the fight on, it only makes it bigger. But listen, he ain't no top dog in the 160 division, I can tell you that now. And I mean that from a very humble point of view. But yeah, hopefully I get the chance to prove it against him as well. But yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay, we're going to head over now to Thomas Triber to start this weigh-in.
He's Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority GIA, Turkey Al Sheikh. This great event is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Gold Star Promotions, Boxer, World of Boxing, and Sella, along with their great sponsors: Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudia Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, and Lucid Motors. A big thanks to those great sponsors. This great event will be shown in the UK and worldwide on DAZN, in the UK on TNT Sports Box Office and Sky Sports Box Office, and in the United States, the main event exclusively shown on ESPN+. Let's now get the weigh-in process started. Our first two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round international super welterweight contest. Let's first welcome a native of Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico, now fighting out of Bratislava, Slovakia. He is a veteran of 61 professional bouts. Let's welcome Cristian Lopez Flores. And now let's welcome a native of Switzerland, now fighting out of Downey, California, USA. Tomorrow, making his professional boxing debut, here is Marco Marich. First to the scale, we will welcome Cristian Lopez Flores. $151.9 for Cristian Lopez Flores. Now to the scale, Marco Marich. $152.6 for Marco Marich.
The British circuit.
Once again, these two
Absolutely.
tomorrow.
Haslam's will travel. He doesn't need asking twice, does he? Mario Marich is with Manny Robles. I saw those two when they weighed in earlier today. All these fighters, it's worth pointing out, apart from the heavyweights, weighed in at lunchtime, and this is a ceremonial weigh-in, so they'll have replenished and rehydrated and everything like that since then, because you can't ask them to wait until 9 o'clock in the evening. Weighing in at midday is standard practice, so they've actually got this difficult bit out of the way, and that refueling process will be underway.
Well, that was indeed a late addition to the card.
Let's continue. Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 4-round international lightweight contest. Let's welcome, coming to us from Sucre, Colombia, his professional record, 3 wins with 2 defeats. Here is Jesus Gonzalez.
Well, it's a big opportunity for Jesus Gonzalez. Takes on the debutant, Muhammad Alakal.
And before we welcome our next fighter, we would like to recognize, joining us here today, His Excellency Turkey Alashin.
Great to see His Excellency in attendance again this evening.
Now let's welcome from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, making his professional debut, Mighty Mohammed Alakel.
This is huge for Mighty Mo. He donned that Saudi Arabian flag earlier in the week. It must be a very proud moment for him.
Yeah, man, for sure. I mean, it's his debut as well, and look at the card that he's debuting on. I mean, I wish I had my debut on a card like this, do you know what I mean? So yeah, good luck to the lad.
131.6 for Jesus Gonzalez. Now to the scale, Mohammed Alakel.
Well, he's trained by Joe Gallagher, part of that camp with Jack Massey.
131.6 for Mighty Mohammed Alakel.
Doesn't appear to be an awful lot of nerves there. Looks good.
Yeah, he does. This one was set at 1-3-2.
These two competing tomorrow on a scheduled 4-round.
But as Hamzah said, as professional debuts go, this is some scene to be a part of, and I wonder when the nerves will kick in, because they will. They do for every professional debut. Handling it in this kind of setting is not the easiest thing.
Especially being a local as well, do you know what I mean? Being a local, you have all the support and backing.
Well, they could both be very nervous. It's a big night for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Mighty Mo joins Olivia on the stage for a quick word.
Mohammed, we've got to the weigh-in. I mean, what have you made of just this whole week and being here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good experience, you know, especially for the future. All the hard work is done now under than 24 hours to go, itching to get in there and get the work done.
Have you found today, making weight, the hardest day out of them?
No, it was pretty simple. It was easy.
And how much would this mean, of course, fighting out of your home country? You were born in Riyadh. What would it mean to get the win on your professional debut?
It means a lot to represent my country and, you know, honoured.
Good luck tomorrow night.
Very much.
Well, that was Mighty Mo Alakel. The actual audio wasn't, couldn't hear it there, where whatever Mighty Mo said, but I'm sure he's looking forward to his big professional debut Saturday night.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the IBF International Light Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger, coming to us from Sheffield, England. He brings a professional record consisting of 23 wins, 6 defeats, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former Commonwealth champion, Liam Cannonball Cameron.
Well, here comes the Cannonball on what is a huge night for him, a stage he probably never expected to be on. But here he is, taking on Ben Whittaker.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from Darlaston, West Midlands, England. Undefeated with 8 wins, 5 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Also a 2020 Olympic silver medalist. Here is the reigning and defending IBF International Light Heavyweight Champion, Ben the Surgeon Whittaker.
Well, delighted to be in the company of a potential future opponent of Ben Whittaker, Ezra Taylor. What are you thinking looking at Ben Whittaker as he approaches the stage?
Just looking as a future opponent, man. He's a cool kid, I can't lie to you. I'm excited to see what we're going to do tomorrow. But, you know, yeah, there's smoke for the future.
174.6 for the challenger, Liam Cannonball Cameron.
Liam Cameron makes the weight, no problem.
Defending champion Ben Whittaker.
Well, here comes the surgeon now approaching the scales. It's his Riyadh season debut. Olympic silver medalist.
174.9 for Ben the Surgeon Whittaker.
Looks in tip-top shape. I'm looking forward to this face-off because it did get a little bit feisty yesterday between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron.
Tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest for the IBF International Light Heavyweight Championship.
Both in good shape, Ezra. Both.
I don't know about all of that, but yeah, you know, they're both ready for it. They're both fit. They're both putting the work. You know, and we're gonna see what's what, man. I like Cameron because he said he's a Sheffield Beterbiev. I can't really see it, but you know, we may see it tomorrow.
Well, we will find out the answer tomorrow night. Is Liam Cameron Sheffield's answer to Artur Beterbiev, or is he just going to fall victim to Ben Whittaker? Is it going to be a career best performance? It looks like the toughest test of his career as Ben Whittaker nods. Liam Cameron doesn't break the stare here. Couple of words exchanged there. Ben Whittaker has been sort of jibing. I think he's pointing at various parts of his body, suggesting maybe he isn't in the best shape.
He's always got something to say. You can rely on him for that. We discovered yesterday that he's actually a left-handed orthodox fighter, Ben Whittaker, naturally left-sided, which isn't super unusual, but it's not the norm, obviously. If you set up as orthodox, usually your strongest side is your right-hand side.
Does he look nervous to you, Ezra, Ben Whittaker?
No, not at all, man. I think he's enjoying it. And Liam Cameron doesn't look nervous either. You know, it's a good spectacle. Two different or polar opposites of personalities. I'm looking forward to it, I really am.
Well, Ben Whittaker is about to join Olivia on the stage. Let's hear from the surgeon.
Here with the self-proclaimed Beterbiev of Sheffield. What were you and Ben saying up there to each other?
He was just saying he can hear me heartbeat, but he was shitting instead. Do you know what? The talking's done. I'm not a talker. Ben's the talker, I'm not.
You know, it was 18 months ago. You were battling with demons. You were in the back of an ambulance. You thought you might die. You said you were going to turn your life over to boxing, and look where you are right now. What does being here mean to you?
Oh, it's everything. Ben thinks I'm scared of him. I've been way worse than that.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
Let's send it over to Liv.
Thank you very much, Todd. I mean, Ben, Liam just said there to Todd that he thinks you were scared as you were facing up, looking at him face to face.
I think the perfect thing was on. I ain't never scared. You know what I mean? When you work the way I work, preparate the way I preparate, there's no reason to be scared, especially when the Lord's on my side.
What was being said between you two up there?
I could see that heart beating out his chest, but at the end of the day, the work's done, the talking's done. It's go time tomorrow.
And what have you got planned then for the next 24 hours before this big fight?
Go back to the hotel, play a bit of Uno.
Love Uno.
What can I say? Then whoop that boy tomorrow. That's how we're going.
Thank you very much. Good luck, Ben.
Thank you very much.
What we've heard from Ben Whittaker, we've heard from the Cannonball. That is a very interesting light heavyweight fight tomorrow. Of course, not the most interesting light heavyweight fight on the card, but one that has certainly got me curious and certainly got you curious, Andy Clark.
Absolutely. Liam Cameron will bring it to the max. He's experienced, he won't be intimidated, he will have a method and a plan and he will stick to it. He will ask some serious questions of Whittaker, and if Whittaker is what we think it is, he needs to pass
competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the women's WBC Featherweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger, coming to us from High Wycombe, England, bringing an undefeated record with 9 wins. 2 of her 9 wins coming by way of knockout. She is the current women's WBC International Featherweight Champion, the Omen, Raven Chapman.
Well, here comes the Omen, Raven Chapman, once again coming out to a bit of Metallica, just like she did earlier in the week. She said she treats every fight like a world title fight. This is one.
Now let's welcome the defending world champion from Queensland, Australia, a 2020 Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 11 wins, 1 win coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending women's WBC featherweight champion of the world, future undisputed, Skye Nicolson. Let's first welcome to the scale the challenger, Raven Chapman. $125.9 for the challenger, the Omen, Raven Chapman. Now to the scale, the defending world champion, Skye Nicolson. The same as her opponent, 125.9 for the defending world champion, future undisputed, Skye Nicolson. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest for the women's WBC Featherweight Championship of the World.
This is a big one. History in the kingdom. The first female fight of Riyadh season. The first World Championship fight in Saudi Arabia from females. It's a brilliant one. Unbeaten Skye Nicolson. Unbeaten Raven Chapman. It's Queensberry versus Matchroom. We can't wait for this one, Andy.
It's built and built and built. It was a good fight when it was made, but it was a fight we were expecting. But as the days have gone by, there's become a greater sense of anticipation about it.
There we are. This isn't just a normal fight, Raven. This is the first ever female world championship bout in Saudi Arabia. How does it feel for you to be making history?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It feels like such an honor to be able to be here and make some history. It's not often you get to do that these days, so I'm trying to make sure I go down in the history books and become world champion tomorrow night.
You predicted a knockout. We know you have the power to do it, but it's hard to lay a glove on her. You've seen her fights in the past. How do you intend to get inside and to punch her in the face as hard as you think you can?
I'll show you exactly how I do that tomorrow.
Look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
All right, over to Olivia.
Skye, it got a little bit tense, especially at the press conference yesterday. Do you like it when that happens?
It's definitely new territory for me. I want to thank His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for this opportunity. To be here. I know we have a very empowering position on Saturday night. Tomorrow night, it's finally here. Can't wait.
Oh, you still got a huge smile on your face. What makes you so confident that you are going to beat her?
I trust my preparation. I know what I'm capable of, and now it's just time to do the job. I can't wait for tomorrow night.
Good luck tomorrow, Skye.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Skye Nicolson, Raven Chapman. Loving the questions, loving the answers. Two confident, undefeated fighters about to make history in the kingdom. The first female fight in Riyadh season, and what a cracker it is. See Hamzah Sheeraz, plenty joining in attendance here. Of course, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is here.
Great to see him a couple of days in a row, actually, because he is really, really busy. You know, he has other things to do apart from the boxing, and during fight weeks, to have him 2 days in a row is quite rare, actually.
Yeah, great to see him. It was amusing yesterday when Eddie Hearn went through the list of kind of Riyadh season shows and omitted, for some reason or the other, the Queensberry versus Matchroom 5 versus 5. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh was very quick to point out that he'd forgotten about the 5 versus 5.
A bit of selective amnesia there from Edward, wasn't it?
I think so. I think so.
But they're really desperately hoping for a win, Matchroom, honestly, in this fight between Nicholson and Chapman. You asked him about it at the top of the show, and he's being good-humoured, but he'll be busting for a win. Absolutely no question.
Yeah, it's exactly that for that Queensberry Matchroom element. And Eddie was quick to raise. There are other opportunities. There's Liam Davis against Shabazz Massoud coming up. They can claw it back, perhaps. There's talk of another 5 versus 5. I think that's all but been announced now. So there will be opportunities. But tell me, how are you seeing this Skye Nicolson-Raven Chapman fight as we are 24 hours away?
It's just a classic stylistic matchup, isn't it? I was talking to Eddie Lamb, Skye Nicholson's trainer, earlier on, and Bradley Skeet was in the background, and they said it reminds me of Bradley Skeet's fight against Sam Eggington from back in the day. Bradley Skeet was the eye-box slick stylist up against Eggington, who was the more aggressive come-forward fighter who needed to find a way past that jab of Skeet's, and he couldn't do it that night. If Raven Chapman can't get past the jab of Nicholson, then she's going to get her head boxed off for 10 rounds. She'll go the way of other people. But if she can employ that lateral movement, get off the line, not coming in straight lines, as she pointed out herself the other day, then she's got a chance to take it to her up close, and we'll see what happens. We haven't seen Nicholson fight like that. It doesn't mean she can't. She could be able to do it any which way for all we know, and maybe she will be future undisputed. I just love the build-up. I love the fact that Nicholson's been happy to go there and put that pressure on herself. But I like Chapman's steely confidence.
Tomorrow in a scheduled
let's head back to Thomas Tribe.
Contest. It will be for the vacant IBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Białystok, Poland. He brings a professional record consisting of 25 wins, 2 defeats, 2 draws, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former world title challenger, Kamil Szeremeta. And now let's welcome from Brighton, England. His professional record, 33 wins, 3 defeats, with 24 of his 33 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a former British champion and former IBO super middleweight world champion. Here is Chris Eubank Jr. We now welcome to the scale first, Kamil Szeremeta. $159.12 for Kamil Szeremeta. And now to the scale, Chris Eubank Jr. The same as his opponent, 159.12 for Chris Eubank Jr. These two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest for the vacant IBO Middleweight Championship of the World.
Well, this is the Riyadh season debut of Chris Eubank Jr. Kamil Szeremeta has kind of oozed confidence this week. Could an upset be on the cards, Andy?
It all depends really what Eubank we see and what Szeremeta has got left. Eubank was working pretty hard right up until the weigh-in to dip under 160. He made it to the scales a bit after everybody else. I wouldn't say he was late really, he was in a different hotel, but he arrived in his boxing boots, so that told me something. Szeremeta, I think, has got that vibe about him whereby this might be it for him at the weekend. He's been treading water the last 2 or 3 years. And when you do that into your 30s, what it means is that when it comes time to dig really deep, you don't really know what's there, what's left. He'll be hoping enough is left to really tear the scripts up on Saturday. Eubank has to make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, this is one of those fights where a lot of the conversation has been about the next opponent. It's been about Chris Eubank Jr.'s hit list, who he could fight in the future, the names. Even earlier today, there was a bit of an altercation with Conor Benn. All of that happening, that, for me, these are bad ingredients.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hear from both fighters very shortly. Chris Eubank Jr. will join Olivia for an interview. We should be hearing from Cameron Szeremeta too.
Doing an interview, I'm going to take my shirt off. So we've got a shirtless Chris Eubank Jr. Chris, you've embraced this culture all of this week. Just tell me what fight week has been like for you.
It's been a roller coaster, but it's been fun. It's been, the weight cut went well. The interviews went well. The press conferences went well. Everything's gone perfect. Now all I have to do is get in that ring and do what I've been preparing to do my whole life, which is take guys apart in style.
I was going to say, it's not just about winning, but making a statement tomorrow night.
It's about looking sexy. That's it. That's all I got to do.
And just finally, I have to ask you about the Conor Benn incident. From your point of view, what happened today?
From my point of view, that little insect is a coward. He waited until I was cutting weight, dehydrated, and malnourished to come and step to me. And he showed his true colors. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about Conor Benn. I'm not thinking about that guy. I got to go out there and I got to deal with this tough opponent in Kamil Szeremeta. After I've dealt with Kamil, Conor's next.
Good luck tomorrow night, Chris.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, Andy, I'm not sure about all this. I'm not sure about this. I'm going to deal with this person after I beat this person. That is a classic case of looking past your opponent. Looking past your opponent who is a former European champion, who's only been stopped at a very good level in Gennady Golovkin and Jaime Munguia. I'm not sure his mind's on the job. But tell me I'm wrong, Andy.
He's an interesting character, though, Eubank. He is very experienced. He's been around the block a few times. I wouldn't be completely amazed. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I wouldn't be completely amazed if he had half an idea that was going to happen with Conor Benn.
Let's head back to Thomas Treiber.
12-round contest. It will be for the IBF Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger coming to us from Manchester, England. He brings a professional record consisting of 22 wins, 2 defeats, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current EBU European and Commonwealth Cruiserweight Champion, Jack One Smack Massey. And now let's welcome the defending world champion from Gold Coast, Australia, a 2012 Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 25 wins, 19 of his 25 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current Ring Magazine champion, and tomorrow night, the reigning and defending IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Skye Opetaia. Let's now welcome to the scale the challenger, Jack Massey. 199.12 for the challenger, Jack One Smack Massey. Now to the scale, the defending world champion, Skye Opetaia. 198.9 for the defending world champion, Skye Opetaia. again, these two competing tomorrow in a simple 12-round contest for the IBF Cruiserweight Championship of the World.
Look at the intensity in the eyes of Jai Opetaia, but look at Jack Massey staring right back at him. I've loved the build-up to this one, Andy.
It's been terrific. It really has. I love where Massey is. I think he's in a really good place. It's a tough task, we know that, but it reminds me of a line at the end of Any Given Sunday. Al Pacino's character, talking about life on that edge, says, on any given Sunday, you're either going to win or you're going to lose. The point is, are you going to win or lose like a man? Are you going to look yourself in the mirror and know, win, lose or draw, you did everything you could have done? And that's where Massey is. Will it be enough? We will find out on Saturday night, but it's got great ingredients.
No, absolutely. The press conference was great fun. They shook hands. They both vowed to take belts home for their daughter. Two intense characters. Let's hear from them.
Jack, a lot of hype obviously around Jai Opetaia. Are you buying that? Is he as good as everyone seems to think he is?
We'll see on Saturday night. Tomorrow, that'll tell.
Yeah. So what's it going to take to beat him? What do you have to do?
Just have to beat myself and get in there and fight. You know, that fire burning in my belly, that's going to give me the push and just do what I do best.
You saw in his last fight, he struggled in the championship rounds. He seemed to run out of gas. If it does go to rounds 11 and 12, how prepared are you to step up there and finish it?
I always finish strong. Every fight I finish strong, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to drag him into deep waters, and that's where I'm going to get him. I'm going to punish him.
Can't wait to see it. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Liv?
Thanks, Todd. Jai, I mean, did you hear what Jack said there? He thinks by getting in the ring, being himself is enough to beat you. Do you think that's enough to beat you?
Man, I'm pumped. You know, I'm ready to put on a show. We've done the trenches. We've been in the hard work. I'm ready to go to war.
He says if it gets to the latter rounds, that's where he's going to get you.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Skills pay the bills. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to be a tough guy, but skills pay the bills.
I mean, it has been pretty respectful between you two. The belt is there, but it's more than just a belt. It's about taking that belt home to your daughter, isn't it?
It is. It's for our families. And I see the look in his eyes. He's got that same hunger, so it's going to be a good fight.
Good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you very much.
Great interviews from both guys. Both had a little sprinkle of we'll see. I think they've been listening to Artur Beterbiev this week, but both also vowing, you know, to pick up the win. What was interesting to me, Andy, was the idea that Opetaia will tire later in the fight.
Well, I can see where the theory comes from, because the wheels did come off a bit in that second fight against Breedis, as they did in the first, but he had a double jaw break in the first. In the second, he'd broken his nose, was swallowing blood, and felt like he was drowning. So there is a reason why it happened. He's a tough guy, Opetaia, but so's Jack Massey. What they want is a hard fight. Neither one of these wants anything other than a real proper hard fight. I love it.
That's interesting, because I'm not sure I agree, because Opetaia keeps saying skills pay the bills. That's not I'm going to come and beat you up. That's I'm going to outslick you, outbox you.
But he loves a ruck. He loves a
two
ruck.
fighters competing tomorrow in a rematch. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the British Commonwealth and WBA International Heavyweight Championships. Let's first welcome the challenger, coming to us from Burton-on-Trent, Staffordshire, England. A 2020 Olympic bronze medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 8 wins, 1 draw, 6 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Frazer, the Eraser Clarke. And now let's welcome the defending champion from Ipswich, England, bringing an undefeated record with 17 wins, 1 draw, 16 of his 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending British Commonwealth and WBA International Heavyweight Champion, Fabio Wardley. First, we welcome to the scale the challenger, Frazer Clarke. .3 for the challenger, Frazer the Eraser Clarke. Now to the scale, the defending champion, Fabio Wardley. .6 for the defending champion, Fabio Wardley. These two compete tomorrow in a rematch scheduled for 12 rounds. It will be for the British, Commonwealth, and WBA International Heavyweight Championships.
This is the rematch of an absolute thriller back in March. One of the best British title fights that you will ever see. They can't agree on who won. One thing they agree on is that this is round 13, Andy.
Absolutely, I cannot wait for this. It was 12 rounds of utter soul-destroying carnage the first time, but they both came through it, and that was the point. They know what that's like now. It doesn't mean that they'll be looking forward to doing it again, but they know that they can go there if they have to. In terms of their weights, they're about the same. Frazer's a bit heavier, Fabio's a bit lighter, but for the initial fight, they weighed in at lunchtime. Tonight, they're weighing in the evening, so it's as was, really.
Well, nice handshake there. We're going to hear from both Fabio Wardley and Frazer Clarke. The first fight was so fantastic. Truly one of the best British title fights that you'll ever see, and the rematch lands on a huge stage here in Riyadh on the undercard of Beterbiev versus Bivol. History in the making in the kingdom. Let's hear from Fabio Wardley and Frazer Clarke.
All right, Big Fraze, your fight earlier this year, a Fight of the Year candidate. What's the build-up to this fight been compared to that fight?
It's been a good build-up. You know, I think two good characters, me and Fabio. We've done what we can out here to promote the fight. We've talked question after question after question, and now it's time to do the business, get in there and actually fight.
Do you expect this to be a barn burner beat down like it was last fight, or do you think this will be more definitive in your favor?
It's definitely going to be more definitive in my favour, but it's a fight, mate, no mistake about it. There's a lot of professional rivalry here. He wants to win, I want to win. There can only be one, and I'm going to give it my absolute all to make sure I go home with them titles.
You said in one of your previous interviews, it comes down to who's improved the most. What will we see in the ring tomorrow night that you will show us that you've improved?
You have to wait and see for that one, my friend. I can't give all the secrets away.
No secrets.
No chance.
Well, best of luck to you, Big Fraze. Okay, let's send it over to Olivia.
Thank you very much. I mean, no secrets on Frazer. What are we going to see change from your game in particular, Fabio, from that first fight?
Yeah, look, me and the team we've looked through the tape a lot of times, and there's some minor adjustments to make. I felt like I had a lot of success with the way I fought that first fight and the way it went. So, yeah, there's going to be some adjustments, but look, with me, you know what you're going to get, entertainment, and I'm not going to be on the biggest stage at one of the biggest events and on one of the biggest cards and not deliver. So Saturday night is going to be fantastic.
I mean, you mentioned one of the biggest fight cards, one of the biggest fights, Riyadh season. What have you made of all of this?
Yeah, look, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I said yesterday, at the presser that I was privileged enough to be at the opening of Riyadh season the first time year on, and like I say, we're a year on now, and it just gets bigger and bigger, and the lights, the camera, the stage, it gets more and more grandiose. So again, I'm just honoured and privileged to be here, and I'm looking forward to the main event as well.
I think everyone else is looking forward to your fight especially, and the main event. Thank you so much, Fabio. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, brilliant to hear there from Fabio Wardley, Frazer Clarke before that. Neither of them really giving much away. Delighted to be in the company of a man who will also be boxing on a Riyadh season show very shortly. Dennis McCann, how are you?
I'm all good, my friend. How you doing? You alright?
Very good to see you. You have big news. You are on the undercard of the Fury Usyk rematch. Peter McGrail, though, that's a proper fight, Dennis.
Proper fight, and I think then proper fights will bring the best out of me, you know. So yeah, I was very grateful for the opportunity of Frank, Spencer Brown, Turkey Al-Sheikh. I'm very, very grateful.
And what brings you out here for this one?
I just come here to soak up the atmosphere, soak it all up, and so it's no shock to me. And just soak it up, really.
Andy, we've seen a few fighters do that before they actually box on a Riyadh season show. They get out here, they get used to it, they enjoy it, take it in.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Hamzah's done it a few times. He's back out here again, just familiarising himself once more. Ezra's doing it. It's just a really good idea because it is slightly different to the UK, isn't it? Everything's in the evening. The weather's different. That'll mean that your kind of biorhythms are slightly different. So it's very, very worthwhile. I absolutely love that fight against Peter McGrail because you've got two fighters who both spectacular amateurs, one who stayed in the system and did really, really well in McGrail, better than people give him credit for. Just because he didn't do it at the Olympics, people have forgotten about the rest of it, but somebody else who turned pro younger and has been pursuing a different path, it's a brilliant fight.
Give us your early kind of prediction for that. I mean, how's that fight going to go with McGrail?
As I told you before, we're in a professional fight game. I'll fight to the die. I'm not amateur. I come for them knockouts. I come with mean intentions. Jab and run and not carry on, mate. When I come to hurt.
So does Artur Beterbiev, by the way. Give us your kind of breakdown of the main event.
Oh, it's fantastic. Listen, he's 40 years old. He's getting better. It's like fine wine. He's getting better and better, isn't he? Can I say I'm going to fancy the youth of Dmitry Bivol? Maybe just so, but again, it's a fantastic fight. I'm licking my lips, to be honest.
And what about the heavyweights that we've just seen? Fabio Wardley, Frazer Clarke.
Oh, that's, again, what a fight again. The amateur pedigree of Frazer Clarke is phenomenal. And Fabio Wardley never had no amateur fights, really, did he? So, yeah. But there was an all-out war last time, and I just, honestly, I got to sit the fence in that one, to be honest with you. It was an all-out war. Expect fireworks.
This is what we expect, isn't it? I think Dennis is right. It is round 13. It is going to be fireworks from Wardley and Clarke. Slightly different weights to what they were in the first fight. What did you make of that, Andy?
Yeah, not much, because at that size, you're talking very small percentage differences. So Frazer was 19 stone bang on for the first fight. He was 19 stone 5 for this, but he was actually 19.2 at lunchtime. So if he'd weighed in at lunchtime, which he did for the first fight, obviously, it'd have been almost exactly the same. Fabio was 17.5 the first time around, 17.3 this time. You're talking like 1.5%, maybe something like that. It could just depend if they've had a big drink of water before they came on stage. It doesn't really mean much, does it?
No, not too much at all, especially them big guys as well. They don't really cut weight at all, do they? So, but I can't help but notice, I thought Frazer looked a bit leaner, if you ask me, since the last fight. It looks a bit leaner, I thought, a bit more muscle mass. So this is a fight I'm licking my lips. I can't wait, to be honest.
It's a great one. What did you see any of the things yesterday with Artur Beterbiev and Eddie Hearn and all of that? What did you make?
I think you got in the middle of it again, didn't you, Dave?
I did. It was a little bit.
You're an absolute bugger for that, mate. I tell you that.
Well, let's head over to Michael Buffer.
Welcome to the Kingdom Arena, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. As tomorrow night, Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority proudly presents an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment, culminating in an evening of history as undefeated champion faces undefeated champion for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Promoted by Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Bob Arum's Top Rank Boxing, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, along with Gold Star Promotions, World of Boxing and Sella, sponsored by the Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, Saudi Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, and Lucid Motors. And special thanks to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian to the two Holy Mosque King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, His Excellency Yorki Al Sheikh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the weigh-in for the main event. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled as undefeated faces undefeated for the Undisputed Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Coming first to the stage, bringing a perfect record of 20 fights, 20 victories, 20 wins by knockout. He is the reigning and defending unified WBC, WBO, IBF undefeated light heavyweight world champion, Artur Beterbiev. And now let's welcome his opponent. Also an unblemished professional boxing record of 23 fights, 23 victories, 12 big wins by knockout. He's the reigning, defending, unified WBA, IBO, undefeated, light heavyweight world champion, Dmitry Bivol. First onto the scales will be Dmitry Bivol, representing the WBA and the IBO, undefeated as a professional in 23 fights, 23 victories, 12 wins by knockout. On the scales, the undefeated Dmitry Bivol, 174.12 pounds. Next onto the scales, his record, a perfect one. 20 fights, 20 victories, 20 big wins by knockout. The unified WBC, WBO, IBF, undefeated light heavyweight world champion, Artur Beterbiev. 174.9 pounds for Beterbiev. And ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for the final face-off before they step into the ring, please welcome to the stage His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Turki Al Sheikh. And here are the two fighters facing off for the final time. A moment in boxing history. It's been 25 years since we've had an undisputed light heavyweight world champion. Here they are, undefeated versus undefeated for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world.
Well, there is that undisputed belt in the middle. Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol facing off, cold from Bivol and a chilling Chechen stare from Artur Beterbiev.
Absolutely. Great to see them on the stage together. They've made the weight. We have a contest. We cannot wait for it. We had undefeated against undefeated for undisputed at heavyweight, but what's kind of different about this is that these are two normal-sized men. You look at Usyk and you look at Fury particularly, and you think this is somebody who belongs from another planet. These are two seemingly normal men, but they are anything but normal men.
Absolutely nothing normal about 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts from Artur Beterbiev, and of course Dmitry Bivol, also unbeaten. Two brilliant light heavyweights, two of the best fighters in the world today, and they will make history on Saturday night. The first undisputed world light heavyweight champion of the four-belt era will be crowned right here in the Kingdom. We're going to hear from the fighters very shortly. They're up on the stage.
Do you know what's funny, Addy? As you've come to me, Artur just looked at me and said, "We'll see." So that might be the answer to most of these questions. But Artur, how has fight week been for you?
Good, like usually.
What's your favourite part about these weeks?
Okay.
What's your favourite part about these weeks leading up to the fight?
Favorite part is fighting.
What can we expect from you and this fight on Saturday night?
Like I said, we'll see.
I was expecting that. And people probably want to know, you as a fighter, what do you do between now and tomorrow night? What are your plans for the next 24 hours?
Be quiet and getting ready to fight.
Artur, thank you so much. Good luck on Saturday night.
Thank you very much.
I am here with the other unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I've ever seen you this relaxed before a fight, and yet it's the biggest fight of your life. Why are you so chill right now?
I'm always like this. I'm chill, but I'm focused also.
You said your entire life you've been preparing for this moment. Now that it's here and you look back on your life and your career, what does this mean to you to have reached the apex?
It means a lot, but at the same time I'm just trying to forget about everything what I went through. I say thank you for everything, for everyone, and now I just focus on Saturday. And I just need to eat right, sleep, and be ready on October 12th.
Can you sleep before a fight like this? Is it hard to go to bed?
No, to be honest, I got used to it. You know, I'm in this field since, I remember myself, since 6 years old. I'm fighting, I'm in this mood. I have to sleep.
A lot of fighters say they treat every opponent the same. In preparation for Beterbiev, do you treat this fight camp and this opponent the same as you have every other fighter?
Most of it, yeah. Most of it the same, because all my opponents I respect very well. I was preparing them for 100%, and for this fight also. I was trying to reach my limits for preparation. I was working hard.
You've got a lot of fans here that have come all the way to Saudi Arabia to watch you fight. What's your message to them right now, the eve before your big fight?
Yeah, thank you guys. It's my friends from all over the world, from Russia, from Kyrgyzstan, from Moldova, from everywhere. And thank you guys for supporting me.
All right, best of luck to you. Eddie Hearn, if we could get a word in with you real quick. There's mega fights, there's big fights, but as far as 50-50 fights, I'm not sure we've had a fight like this in recent memory. What's your take on just the matchup between these two?
I think you have no two experts with the same pick. You know, you've got a lot of travelling fans turning in now. Anyone here for Artur Beterbiev? Small. Anyone here for Dmitry Bivol? Okay.
Anyone here for Eddie Hearn?
No. Listen, this is a generational great fight. The best fight in the light heavyweight division for decades. Two ice-cold competitors. And, you know, for me, this is an opportunity for Dmitry Bivol to achieve a lifelong dream. He already slayed the pound-for-pound king in Canelo Alvarez. This is a bigger fight. This is a bigger night. This is what he wants more than anything. Get ready tomorrow night for an incredible card, top to bottom. Riyadh season explodes October 12th. Right next door in the Kingdom Arena. Don't miss it. I believe that Dmitry Bivol will be the undisputed world champion tomorrow night.
We shall see live on DAZN tomorrow night. Let's send it back upstairs to Artur.
I'll tell you, my name's Dev, by the way, Todd, not Addy. The excitement is building here in the Kingdom. We've also been joined by a man who's had plenty of success in the Kingdom, Mr. Nick Ball. How are we?
Yes, Dev. What's happening? All good, you?
I knew you'd come out for this fight. It's too good to miss, Nick.
Yeah, that's it. You can't know. Literally just landed and come here and made it to the weigh-in, so I'm looking forward to it.
Who'd you fancy?
Beterbiev. Yeah.
Why?
Everyone's going Bivol, but I like his style more. He's the aggressor. He comes, puts it on him, and that's what I like. Yeah, I'm backing him with this one.
I think this is where you disagree, right, Dennis? I'm pretty sure you're going for Bivol.
I think it's a very hard fight, definitely, but I said it was 50-50, but I'm going to go with Bivol.
So, Nick Ball goes for Beterbiev, Dennis McCann goes for Bivol. Dennis, I had a chat with you the other week. I think we was at Nick Ball's weigh-in, and you said could be a future fight. Could it?
Could be a future fight down the line. Definitely.
Could be, yeah. Once a fight, everyone, doesn't he? But yeah, who knows what the future holds? So it'll be a good one.
You never know what the future holds here. I'm getting big. I'm growing. You know what I mean? So young. So
stylistically, this is great. By the way, stylistically, you two. Oh, that's a great fight, isn't it?
For now, we're different weights. We're different weights at the moment. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Any fight I'm in, it'd be a good fight, wouldn't it? You know, the way I fight, so yeah.
Who'd win?
Who do you think? You don't lose over here, Dad.
Vice versa.
Yes, lad.
Andy Clark, let me bring you in. We've just seen Bivol and Beterbiev on the scales. We've seen them face off for the final time. Give us your thoughts.
They've just been really consistent all week, you know, in their mood and their behaviour and everything that they've done, and they'll remain that way right up until the bell tomorrow. This fight was never going to be won or lost during the week. They can be sometimes, even at the highest level. Somebody can get into somebody else's head. It can all prove a bit too much for someone. The weight making could go wrong. None of that's going to happen with these two. And I think they both look pretty good at the weight. People were talking during the week, mainly Eddie, about how Beterbiev was looking a bit tight, a bit pinched. Yeah, probably. But everybody looks a bit tight and a bit pinched when it comes to weigh-in day. I saw them both at lunchtime. They both look good. They both seem 100% fit. Whether they are or not, who knows? Fighters rarely are. But I think there won't be any excuses after this, whatever happens. I think we're going to see a hell of a fight.
I think we are as well. And Nick, I'll tell you what, Artur Beterbiev has reminded me a little bit of you this week in terms of his interviews, his answers. He's just purely focused on fighting. You must be able to be like, you're probably looking at him thinking, yeah, I understand why he's not really saying an awful lot. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, he's probably annoyed at you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wanting to get all answers out of him. He's just ready to fight, but yeah, it's getting closer now, so yeah, that's all that's left to do, in it, really, the fight. So
end of the day, you still got a fight, innit?
Yeah, that's it.
Who have you got for Frazer Clarke and Fabio Wardley?
I don't really know who. It was a close one, wasn't it, last time? I'm going with Frazer Clarke. Yeah, I don't know. Really know.
Well, just behind us playing is the incredible trailer. It's probably interfering with our audio a tad. The incredible trailer for Beterbiev and Bivol. Have you seen this one, Dennis? Because this one's amazing. What do you think? They just keep getting better and better.
Really good, really good.
Are you going to feature in one? Because we've seen Nick Ball, he was the butcher. I need to see Dennis McCann for your fight with Peter McGrail.
God knows what they put me as. God knows. the cookie monster, maybe.
Nick, obviously you are a gym mate of Peter McGrail.
Yeah.
Just like you were for Brad Strand as well. A little bit of red triangle against Rotunda here. What's Peter McGrail saying about his fight with Dennis McCann?
Not much, yeah. I haven't really spoke to him about it, but like any other fights, full of confidence. What's that?
You got back your own, didn't you?
Yeah,
back your own.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, that's standard in it, back your own, but yeah, full of confidence and mainly looking forward to it because it's on such a massive platform, massive show, and this is where it's happening. So any fight, you know, over the years is good to be a part of. So yeah, mainly excited, I think.
What has Dennis got to be worried about? What's Peter good at?
Got loads of things, you know.
Listen, stylistically, it's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah. Everyone goes on about Peter's like feet work and things like that, and there's movement, but that is unbelievable. But for me, like you've got to be super fit to do that for the amount of rounds. So yeah, he's
some good scrap, some great scrap.
He's flying.
That's good.
But yeah, I'm sure it will be an exciting one. And I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
Left, right, good night.
Well, that's coming up. Listen, I'm going to go down the line here and just get your final Beterbiev Bivol predictions. One word answers only. Dennis McCann.
Points. That's one word, isn't it?
It is. It's a very clever one word.
Points Bivol.
Nick, what are you saying?
Beterbiev, stoppage.
Andy Clark.
I'll say Beterbiev.
Okay, thank you, Andy Clark. You've been great all week. Thank you, Nick Bull. Thank you, Dennis McCann. And thank you for joining us. That was the weigh-in. Oh, my. Hours away now. How good was that face-off? Chilling, cold. Two cold characters who are going to bring nothing but heat and war tomorrow night. Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol. We will crown the first undisputed world light heavyweight champion of the four-belt era. Do not miss it.
Champions are not born. They're forged.
The world is watching.
Crowned in the ring. It takes the heart of a lion, the mind of a strategist, and the soul of a warrior. Every challenge is an opportunity.
What a masterpiece tonight. How is he still on his feet?
Every setback, a lesson. It demands an unbroken will that refuses to bow.
Do you believe this?
But this is not just about winning. This is about turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Building a legacy and becoming undisputed.
And it's an instant classic.
Undisputed. Available now.